Hey there, and welcome back to the final episode of Arlin Plays EarthBound. Last time we made it through the entirety of the Cave of the Past, up until this mysterious portal here. So this time it's time to, well, take the fight to the Cosmic Destroyer. So, without further ado... Okay. And so here we have pulsing tubes. You know, I never really noticed that it actually pulses like that. Huh. Interesting. Alright. Certainly creepy. Adds to the atmosphere. I likes. And the fact that everything else seems to be just void and all you're hearing is the sound of the wind. This is... Okay, they are doing an excellent job of building up the tension here. Okay. Big giant machine. Okay, rumbling. Alright. And so now it has an eye in the center that appears to be looking at Ness. Okay.
Ness, are you surprised? It's me, Pokey. I assist only the strong and the able. That's Pokey. You guys look pathetic. The Apple of Enlightenment has already made a prediction, but I won't let what the Apple of Enlightenment predicted take place. You guys will be beaten by Gygas. Gygas will be stronger, a more powerful entity than any other. Why? Because of me. I was led by Gygas, and now I'm here. The Apple of Enlightenment couldn't predict this. Master Gygas. No, Gygas is no longer the wielder of evil. He has become the embodiment of evil itself, which he cannot control on his own. He is the evil power.
Well then. I feel as though we're missing something here. Okay, music is an interesting choice, jumping back to sort of the more 8-bit sound. I do like that Gygas is essentially the background, plus a little bit in the middle there. Alright, Ness, let's see. Let's actually have you defend for a sec here. Since we're in this for the long run, let's just do the Sigma version of it. First of all, Jeff. Oh wait, no. We want to wait one turn for that. So, how do we want to do this? Alright, I'm gonna have you... Why don't you bash Giga, see what happens. Let's see... Paula... Yeah, Paula we... Let's have you defend. Jeff, neutralizer, get rid of any shields they've got, and Pooh... Why don't you bash heavily armored Pokey? Okay, so not too much there. Oh! Well, that's unfortunate. And apparently he has access to Rockin'. I get the feeling that he's made a connection with our main character here, and oh, that... That reflects everything against him. Wow, Alright, so that hurt like crazy. Let's fix that up, actually, no, I'll have Pooh fix that up because he's faster. Alright, let's see. Bash the heavily armored Pokey, since we can actually hit him for sure. Alright, Jeff. Time to whip out a multi-bottle rocket, take out that heavily armored Pokey. And Pooh, heal up. Oh hey, I just realized that the music shifted. So it's no longer doing the 8-bit thing, and is now doing sort of the ominous, guitar-esque music. This is nifty, I like this. Interestingly enough, it doesn't have as much tension as I would have expected. Of course, it does sometimes. Come on. Really? Wow, we are not off to a good start here. Alright, let's see. Life up Omega. Goods. Life noodles on Jeff. And just defend. Oh, come on! Alright, here we go. Really? Wow. That's pretty ridiculous. And of course, Jeff gets hit with the full force of it. Really? Really? Okay, I'm having a harder time with this than I have ever had prior to this. Alright, let's see. Paula, get that shield up again. Jeff. Alright, you know what? Let's just go ahead and hit him with the bottle rocket. Alright, it's rocking Alpha. I can work with that. Of course, I also didn't heal Jeff at all, which is my mistake there. Alright, so now Pooh is back up. It did not work? How did it not work? What the hell is this crap? Alright. Let's do Life Up Omega, Paula. Let's do that one more time so that we can actually make sure that Pooh gets protected there. Alright, and you... What do we have on you? We have luxury jerky you could eat. Although, actually, I'm going to have Ness fix things in a minute anyway, so, alright. Hopefully he'll actually get it in time. That would be good. And then, let's have you use Freeze, because we don't want Starstorm to be reflected. Because I think once it gets reflected once, it can't bounce back and forth. Alright, good. I'll take lowering offense, that's fine. Especially considering that it seems like Gygus is entirely using mental attacks. Which would make sense in its own way. I mean, he doesn't really have any appendages or anything to be attacking with. There we go. Come on. Wow, that doesn't actually do much at all. Okay. Alright, in that case, let's bring out the other artillery. Let's see. I've still got 3 of these left. I'll go ahead and use one more. One way or the other, we'll have some results here. Heavily armed Pokey. Suck it! I'll admit, they certainly are making this quite tense. And it becomes very quickly obvious that you have to take out Pokey. Either way, you'd kind of want to, though, because, I mean, let's assume that...
I understand you guys are already claiming to be heroes. Well, it's a gazillion years too early for you to oppose Gygus. You must feel pretty stupid to keep fighting without even knowing what Gygus looks like. If you were ever to see Gygus, you'd be so petrified with fear, you'd never be able to run away. That's how scary it is. So, do you want me to turn off the devil's machine? Well, prepare to be amazed.
I see. And so now we...
So, isn't this terrifying? I'm terrified too. Gygus cannot think rationally anymore, and he isn't even aware of what he's doing now. His own mind was destroyed by his incredible power. What an almighty idiot. Yep, that's what he is. And you will be just another meal to him.
I do like that they kind of have that... Okay, and it keeps my attacks in there. Okay. That's interesting. It didn't, like, treat it as a new fight. Still, I seem to be doing some damage, so that much is good. You know what? Because I've got way more PP than I'm going to use, let's try to hit him and see if that works now. Since apparently Freeze didn't get stopped, we can reasonably infer that. Jeff, get out that multi-bottle rocket. Hit Gygus with it. Let's see. And PSI Freeze. Go! Yes! Oh, I see. We couldn't discern the nature of his attack, except that we could, because Franklin badge. And so we nuke him from orbit. Always satisfying. Multi-bottle rocket. Blam in the face. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Admittedly, that in and of itself is kind of a great touch, because you have the multi-bottle rockets, which up until the point, from the point that you first get access to them, basically until now, they've been kind of the be-all, end-all, well, time to take out this boss, splurt, and now that doesn't work. add to that the eerie background music, which is largely just sound effects from the sound of it. I mean, they're upping the nervous tension of this scene incredibly. Let's see. Should I nuke him again? You know what? Let's nuke him again, because it's fun, and we don't get to do it very often. Alright, let's see. We've only got one more multi-bottle rocket, and that's fine. Let's just blast the hell out of him. And you know what? Starstorm. I love the sound effect of that one, and holy crap, that's a lot of damage.
You must really be at the end of your rope. In this bizarre dimension, you four are the only force fighting for justice. And here you stand, waiting to be burned up with all the rest of the garbage of this universe. Ha! That's so sad. I can't help but shed a tear. You know, my heart is beating incredibly fast. I must be experiencing absolute terror. Do you want to scream for help here in the dark? Why not call your mommy, Ness? Say, Mommy, Daddy, I'm so frightened. I think I'm gonna wet my pants. I know you have telepathy or something, so just try and call for help, you pathetically weak heroes of so-called justice. No one will help you now. Don't worry, your pitiful suffering will be over soon.
Okay, so now we've shifted to a completely different thing. Okay. So now we're blasting the crap out of him, and the multi-bottle rocket, of course, didn't work. I believe this is the point at which some prior knowledge is justified here. We're going to have Paula start praying, and this is one thing that I will fault the game on, is that there is very little indication. I mean, they say call for help, but the thing is, it's never really spelled out in any, even subtle way, that praying is equivalent to calling for help. You know what? Spy on Gygus. Clearly you can find something out about him. Let's have Pooh defend. Please give us strength if it is possible. Please. Somebody, help us. I actually, this was the part that I had the most trouble with as a kid, because when I first received this game as a Christmas gift, it didn't come with the guide because my mom had bought it used. The thing is, if you don't have the guide, it's actually really hard to tell that this is what you're supposed to be doing here. And so all the Mr. Saturns gather. All of the Mr. Saturns felt a new, startling feeling that they had never experienced before, and they all started praying for the safety of Ness and his friends. I will say I do like that it's all of the people that you've met along your journey that want you to succeed. Gygus' defenses became unstable. And so now we're here. Gygus' offense, okay. Interesting. He's susceptible to brain shock. I'm gonna have to make use of that, actually. Alright, let's see. Oh, hey, I don't have brain shock. That's Pooh. Alright, well, we'll do that. Paula, pray again. Jeff, defend. PSI, brain shock. 2 Gigas. I'm so sadness. Friends. Yaw. God, this thing is creepy. Ow. Gigas felt a little strange. Oh, and Paula couldn't actually heal. Or couldn't pray with that. Awesome. Fortunately, Ness can do his healing bit another 10 times, so I think we're good. And him gibbering really just... Oh. Like, there's a number of things. Like, I wouldn't say that it gives me nightmares or anything like that kind of scary, but it did creep me out, even from the beginning. In part because I have an overactive imagination. Suddenly, one of the runaway 5 felt something stop him, and he prayed fervently for the safety of Ness and his friends. Maybe it was lucky. Wow, that... Okay, he took some damage. Okay. Alright, well, let's keep at it then. Since he didn't do anything, we'll just have everybody defend. Not that that really helps all that much. Cannot grasp the true form of his attack. It must be a lightning attack. That appears to be mauling Jeff. Please give us strength. Speed this prayer to all the people of the earth. This sequence right here actually makes me think much more of the, your own power will unite with the earth's and be magnified. This is what makes me think of that much more than just visiting the Your Sanctuary locations and getting some stat boosts. Paula's family and the preschoolers. Paula's father thought he somehow heard his daughter's voice and prayed sincerely for the safety of Paula and her friends. And does more than twice as much damage. I can work with that, and Gygus is still confused. I can work with this. Alright, let's keep it up. Ness, it hurts. It hurts. Alright, so who's next on the docket? Please give us strength. Anyone who can hear our plea, help us. Oh, Tony. And Maxwell, of course. Suddenly, Tony felt anxious about Jeff, and he prayed strongly for the safety of Jeff and his friends. $183. So it's scaling the more people that we get here. I can work with that. Defend, pray, defend, defend. Please grant us power. Anyone who can hear our plea, help us. I do find it interesting that Pooh doesn't appear to have any family members, come to think of it. I mean, he's got fangirls, but... A young woman in Dalam woke from a dream in which Prince Pooh died, and she began to pray for the well-being of Pooh and his friends. $409 HP of damage, okay. Ness! Ness! Ness, 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 Ness. And Pooh is just down. That's not happy. Alright. And this, boys and girls, is what happens when Pooh is not protected against PSI Flash. Good job. Alright. Looks like that dream was considerably more accurate than I thought. Okay. Appears to be hitting everybody. What? What is this sorcery? Alright, there we go. Alright, Ness, it's about time for you to recover everybody. Paula, keep praying! Keep going! And Pooh, defend. Paula prayed from the bottom of her heart. Please grant us strength. Anyone who can hear our plea, we ask for this. Is it just me, or does it seem like his speed seems to be changing? Sometimes he gets it in before Paula, sometimes not. I wonder if it's based on the attack. I don't know. I don't think that's... Okay, yeah, the girl on the bottom is just doing random movement, and so by dumb luck, that's where it ended up. So aside from Frank making out with some random chick while at work, suddenly, Frank recalled Ness's shining young face and began to pray diligently for the safety of Ness and his friends. I've never seen that happen, actually. And bam, 646. I feel good. It's not right. Not right! It hurts! Okay, that's manageable. Alright, so now, let's do some defending. Come on, Paula, keep it up. I am kind of curious as to why Paula's the only one who can do this. I mean, in Mother, we saw that anyone could sing. But in here, it's just Paula that can pray. Please grant us power. Speed this prayer to all the people of the earth. And finally, in their own way, Ness is calling out to his mommy. Though I'm not sure that he would think of her with that term, but nevertheless. Thanks for the idea, Pokey, even if it was kind of vague. Suddenly, Ness's mother felt terribly uneasy, and she began to pray for the safety of her son and his friends. $1,750 HP of damage. And now he is not doing so good. And he just repeats random phrases. Okay. Like, to me, this right here is kind of like the epitome of insane evil, if that makes sense. Because you've got something that apparently isn't even aware of its own existence, just flailing about with extreme amounts of power. Semi-sentience, if you will. Which in its own way is kind of sad. Alright, well, we got nothing else. And hello, seizure. Yes, okay. So he gets it off first. Oh wait, he didn't actually attack. I can't think of anyone else. Someone, anyone, please help us. Paula's call was absorbed by the darkness. That was one where I do distinctly remember dying because I was like, oh, well, I guess it's game over then. And then it was. When I tried it one more time and tried it, and that was when I actually finally beat this game. But alright, Paula, it's up to you. Last shot. I'm happy. Ness, it's not right. Someone, can you hear me? Please, give us strength. Paula and her friends' calls touched the heart of someone. Have you figured it out yet? And it will do that no matter what the length of the name you put in was. 6,000 damage. See, this right here is actually one of the reasons, one of the biggest reasons why I hold EarthBound in such high regard. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how strong the characters are. It does not matter how hard the heroes train. In the end, what matters is that you, the player, want Gygas to die. You want him to lose. You and, I suppose, the rest of the Earth. Like, it's a small thing, but at the same time, it's huge.
Ness, well, it's going to seem like I'm running away, but perhaps I'll just sneak away to another era and think about my next plan. It's a good bet that we'll see each other again. Alright, I'll be seeing you. So now which one of us do you think is the cool guy?
And so Pokey takes off. Which is one of the most unsatisfying parts of the ending there. It's like, what? We didn't get to mash his face into goo, but he was so easy to hate. Things are going bad for all concerned. I mean, and the worst part of this bit here, well, I'll let it do it and then I'll explain. What's going on? The worst part of that is that at the time that I had this game, my TV really did turn off like that. And it was only the sound effect that clued me in that the game was still running normally. The robots are smashed. The war against Gigas is over. And so the heroes, in the end, have died. Or have they? Still, that is one of the things that I have never seen emulated from any other game, where the strength of the players does not matter in any way. Aside from getting, I suppose it matters in the sense of getting past that first couple of sections there, but overall it really does not matter. What matters is that you, the player, want it to end. And so it appears that souls can find their way back to their actual bodies. This is good. And so Pooh recovers. And then Jeff. It's kind of amazing to me how expressive you can be with just the 16-bit sprites. And so, of course, Ness is last. I do like that there's not any more of an extended pause for Ness than there is for any of the other ones. Our travels together end here. I must return to Dalam and use this experience for the good of my country. Ness, Paula, Jeff, let me demonstrate a strange power before I go. I realized this power as a child. PSI farewell, now. I'll see you again someday. That just looked like teleport to me, but alright. Aw, it's a hug. Paula, Ness, it was great to hang out with you guys. It really was. I'm glad that I had the chance to use some of the theories that I've been studying so hard. It's remarkable. If, just maybe, well, if you two get hitched someday, maybe I'll be the one that fixes your broken electronic appliances. I'm gonna stay here for a while and see if I can learn more from Dr. Andonuts. I mean, from my dad. So it looks like this is goodbye for now, my friends. It's okay, we can just teleport back if we really need to. Well, Ness can. Paula needs a ride. Ness, will you escort me home? Yes. I'll miss all of you, but I have to go back to being just a regular kid. Well, I gotta get going. So, at this point, I'm going to take a slight break so that I can save this spot, because this is where the bonus episode will begin, where I explore absolutely everything. Although actually, I will go ahead and open up these presents first. Ness opened the present. There's a letter from Tony inside. Ness takes it. So many sprites that it's slowing me down. Ness opened the present. There's a letter from Mom inside. And letter from kids inside. Alright, let's read these, and then I will make the jump. Letter from Tony. Dear Jeff, everything's really going great here. I wish I could have gone with you on your adventure, even just part of the way. But instead I'm sitting here, waiting for you in Winters. I want to see you again as soon as possible. I can't wait to see your cheerful face. I bet your glasses are dirty. If you come back, I'll clean them for you. Like I said, I'm waiting for you. Yours truly, Tony. P.S. Don't show this letter to anyone. Oops. Oh well. Alright, next. Letter from the kids.
Dear Paula, how are you doing? I'm fine. I'm fine too. Sorry, me. Me also. Me okay. Please come and play with us again at the Polestar Preschool. Oh yeah, one more thing. Bring us some presents, if you have any. Sincerely, your friends at the Polestar Preschool.
Oh, I think you'll actually get your wish on that one. Alright, and letter from Mom.
Dear Ness, how are you?
Since you left home on your journey, things have changed around here. For example, I don't have as much laundry. Also, we don't seem to eat steak as much as we used to. I heard that you defeated some universal evil character. What was it? Googie or something like that? Well, that sounds really great. I want to hear all the details, so hurry home, okay? Tracy, King, and I are waiting for you. Love, Mama. It's kind of intriguing, because his mom always seems kind of spacey to me. I don't know. Anyway, back after a short jump here. And now we can move on. Alright, let's see. It was fun hanging out together.
It's a miracle that has only happened because of your great courage. Believe me, I went through a lifetime's worth of stress while you were gone. I just wish I could have come with you as a robot. I should have used the face distorter. What a story that would have been. Scientist and 4 kids save the world. Ha 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 ha.
Not nearly as compelling.
The chance of Gigas gaining victory with his monstrous plan is 99%. However, your courage has produced a 1% chance that Gigas fails. I must try to come to a deeper understanding of this trait called courage.
I guess.
Incredible! Excellent! I'm not quite sure what for, but congratulations on a job well done. If we ever have a chance to get together again, let's go on a picnic or something. Maybe we could play horseshoes too.
Okay.
Was scared. Now care. I strong. Brain. Zoom. Oh. Breathe is so good.
I see. Alright.
I do what I say. Cross heart.
Alright, that's enough of that, so let's teleport and take Paula home. Interestingly enough, the music has changed. Just as I thought, you two make such a nice couple.
Kidnapping is wrong. I'll be careful not to kidnap anyone.
Right. I think you said that earlier at some point. Huh. I see. Alright, well, let's get her home. I will admit that just having this music be kind of omnipresent right now really does add to that feel of, hey, we're at the end. You did it. He's smiling. Ness, thank you for escorting me home. There was something I wanted to tell you, but I've forgotten it. I'm sure I'll remember by the time I see you again. Well, I guess this is it. Goodbye. So long. See ya. Bye. Aw, awkward goodbye. Okay, time to leave. Bye. Whee! Alright, now the only thing left is for me to go home. So, shall we? No, we shan't. For lo, puppy. And the puppy spake, saying, "Thou shalt not go." Almost ran into that guy. Alright, there we go. And so the music starts anew, in a new place. You used to look much more helpless. Alright. I do kind of like that you have to do this walk. I mean, there are times in the game where I do get mildly annoyed that I have to walk all the way up here, but here, at the end of the game, it really does feel appropriate to have to walk all the way up the lane to where you live. Wow, you've become such a strong young man. I'd like to hear all your stories, but I don't want to annoy you as soon as you walk through the door. After all your chats with people you met on your adventure are finally over, please come back here. The photo man brought an album by. I'd like to look at it with you. Yes, I did. That's fine. And so the game is done. So, there you have it. This is one of the aspects that I love about this and like Donkey Kong is that they do the in-game cast as well. Picky Minch, Lardna Minch, Aloysius Minch, Pokey Minch. Who would hate their daughter enough to name her Lardna? Really? Buzz Buzz, Liar X Edgerate, Frank Fly, The Sharks, B.H. Purple, what a jerkle, Captain Strong, the Onett Police Force. Never mind that sprite was used for pretty much every cop on other places as well. Paula's mom and Paula's dad, who don't have names apparently. Paula, Orange Kid, Apple Kid, and his mouse. Yay! Mr. Everdread. You know, come to think of it, why does Apple Kid have a pet mouse? They never really explain that. The Happy Happyists, they're dressed so well. Carpenter. And then Pokey runs away. The Bubble Monkey! Tony, Maxwell, and Tessie. Brick Road. You know, I'm still kind of puzzling over the fact that, you know, Pokey's parents have names. Even Jeff's dad has a name, although, to be fair, in his case, it's a professional thing, and they never... I don't think they ever give him a first name. Maybe they do. I want to say it's Bryce, but that may just be Fabby's or Orange, but nevertheless. Mr. Saturn, Master Belch. It's kind of an interesting choice, though, if you think about it, because, I mean, the hero's parents, since you're kind of putting yourself in that role, it fits for you to just thinking of them as mom and dad, but, like, why would you give names, like, explicit names to the recurring villain? Even in the cast, they have a sense of humor. Pooh's Master, the Star Master, and of course, Dungeon Man and the Noble Warrior, as opposed to the Peasant Warrior, Tenda Tribesman. There we go. The Flying Men, who all get brought back from the dead, apparently. And all of the assorted random people. I really do like that they do this, just because it is kind of cool to look over and see all the different things that were done. Dad, who is a phone. King, Tracy, Ness, and Mom. Like, because that's how the main character would think of them, it doesn't really bother me that you have Mom and Dad, but Tracy has a name, because, again, you know, speaking as somebody who grew up with a sibling, I never really thought of my parents by name. I just thought of them as Mom and Dad. I mean, I'm sure if somebody asked, I could tell them, but still. Hello, Photo Man. Now see, this is interesting. The one time that he pulls out a giant camera like this. That's right, Fuzzy Pickles. And so now we get to listen to one of my favorite songs through the entire actual staff credits. So yeah, I remember discovering over the course of this Let's Play that, okay, it doesn't apparently do them in order of how you were at them. It seems to be more of a location-based, maybe, on what it's showing here. But I know that there's a bare minimum that you can avoid getting, and if you do, it fills in what's likely to be there. Like there's a default, just so that there's enough photos here. For the ones that you do take, though, it will keep track of who all was in your party and generally what their status was, whether or not you had a teddy bear, that sort of thing. I mean, there's another big difference with this game over other games that I've played. Other games don't really build in a pause for reflection if you're thinking back on what you've done. I mean, usually when I finish a game and I'm watching the credits, I'm still mulling over just the ending, but this, because of the fact that it's going through all the different places that you've been, it makes you think about the entire thing rather than just the last portion of it. And I really like that. Somehow I don't think that those enemies were there when we were there, but that's okay. I'll accept it this time. Okay, see, it did actually remember that I had Paula and the bear at that particular one. Going behind Grapefruit Falls. Into the, well, the pit of Master Belch. Factory or pit, whatever. Just before pausing for coffee. Yes, it was coffee at this place. And now going into the desert to fight those moles. Admittedly, for a while, the only actual place that I remember as a kid getting stuck on where to go and needing to use like the hint man was when you get to Fourside and you have to go back and forth between the desert and figure out what to do next. This time, like, we found enough clues that we could figure it out, but I know that it was something that I had trouble with as a kid. And so, actually, thinking back, since we're busy looking back at what we've done this Let's Play, I have to say there's only been one time at this point that I can think of off the top of my head where we had absolutely no clue what to do, or didn't find one within a reasonable amount of time, and that was relatively early on. I remember there not being any real indication as to where to go for Paula. I mean, eventually you'd figure it out just by exploring, so even then it was mild. But I'm actually happy to say that several of the preconceptions that I had about this game, just because I've never really examined it through the lens of a game designer, there were things that I thought that the game did really poorly, but after examining them, I'm actually wrong, which I'm pleased to say. It's incredibly well crafted. I mean, they build in a way for you to check where you need to go, and there's enough hints that you can figure it out. The battle system is much more solid than I ever gave it credit for being, and it makes use of what players are likely to do, what easy options they're given, to up tension at appropriate moments. That's impressive. That's something that most games don't do. And, I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the bosses, part of the reason why they were so threatening is because they either had really, really impressive numbers, which, you know, it was the case for some things, but a lot of times it was because they just changed the rules. They say, okay, we do this, and this is something that you're not used to dealing with, or you have no real defense against this.
I miss you.
I miss you. And so, we've made it. And the player, Arlin. Is it sad that there's some part of me that still likes that they thank the player? I mean, I understand that they have a much more direct role for that, for, you know, putting in the name and whatnot in this game than most, but I still like it when the game thanks the player at the end of the game. And there's one more sequence here, if I remember correctly. Maybe it takes a while to get... There we go. This sounds strangely familiar. But why? I still have all of my stuff. That's entertaining to me. Alright, well. I'll give you guys a hint, it's not a New Game Plus. Someone's knocking at the door. What an annoying knock. This is what happens when somebody is at the door and they get bored, apparently. My land, who could be knocking at the door at this time of night? Would you answer it? I've got fleas sucking me dry, so I'm just gonna lie still for now. Beep. Alright. Oh, it's Picky. A letter arrived from my brother, Pokey. It is addressed to Ness. There's no stamp, and it's not time for the mailman to come. Anyway, I brought it over. It says, "Come and get me, loser! Spankety, spankety, spankety!" I wonder where he is. The end. So, that's all there is to it for Arlin Plays EarthBound. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way through this with me. It's been a blast putting this together. Next on the list of Let's Plays, I'm going to be doing Link's Awakening. So join me for that a week from the day this episode comes out. So a week from, it should come out next Monday. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you for the next one.